Let's get into some employee news here, Dave.
Oh, boy.
Erika joins the WWE board.
Yep. Good for her.
It's great.
I think good for us, too.
Yeah.
Credibility. She deserves it. I love her success because it's like I know when we hired her, she got a lot of backlash. People turning me like, how could you join them? Erika is like maybe the most powerful female executive in sports now, and I love it. Because Dave, you only hired her because she's a female is the furthest thing from the truth. She knows how I hired her, and I know how I hired her. It was a happenstance meeting where we didn't even know we were going to be meeting each other, and we hit it off instantly. I met with 70 men. I didn't like any of them. I was like the second I met Erika after the coffee we basically had, I called Chern. I'm like, do you know who Erika Nardini is? Because like she's our girl if we can get her. And I shouldn't say girl. It's like she's our CEO if we can get her. And they're like, yeah, she's great. And that started the process. And it without a shadow of a doubt is the perfect hire. And even to a degree, it's so perfect. We got lucky because she, as everyone knows, has the same kind of like fuck you mentality. Like she won't take a step backwards. You know, it's like she won't apologize for things that we shouldn't have to apologize for. She will if it's like warranted, but won't just like she has a spine, and it's hard to have a spine in that position. So she has. I couldn't be happier for her to get, the recognition she deserves.
And this is kind of from afar, just seeing a relationship from my perspective. It's great that obviously she's very talented. She's done great things from the business side, growing Barstool. But I feel like the level of trust you've had in her is what really kind of...
Erika and I don't think have ever disagreed on anything. And if you want to, we talked about the exchange I had with Penn earlier today. After it happened, I talked to her and gave her verbatim what happened. She's like, you should just go to a fucking spa and just be like, you better fucking get back to me or else I'm going to go dark. Like she gets the same as you're running around with you're fucking like a maniac and they can't get back to you for 3 hours. Yeah. Like you should be like, fuck you, just to be send a bow across, you better fucking wake the fuck up. So we always see eye to eye on that.
Yeah. And it's just, she read her word. There was, not much has changed as far as content that can't go out and this and that. So,
I mean, we actually, it's strange. I don't know that either of us thought this. She has bled more into content and I have continued more with the business. We're truly run it as a partnership. And Jay, the CEO of Penn, has basically echoed that, why he was so convinced of the deal. He's like, I saw how you two interacted, the level of trust, respect for each other. It's been that. That's why, honestly, I couldn't be happier for that.
Kate is pregnant.
Yeah. I'm so bad that she came in and she was like, pregnant. And I was like, sorry or congratulations? I didn't know. Okay.
Did you read the blog she wrote?
It was too long.
It was good though.
I'm sure it was. I skimmed it. I saw some funny lines, headlines, Dave Portnoy gives her something. I don't know. Yeah, she's pregnant. I mean, somebody impregnated her.
Somebody.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, unless I guess artificial, but I think she actually had sex. So congrats.
Congrats to Kate. And they also, her and Pat have the new podcast, Out and About.
Yep.
LGBTQ
Correct.
Podcast.
It's so that was run by my desk. Gay Pat wants to do a gay podcast. And in a similar vein to Coley, obviously he's been here much longer. I have no idea whether that pod will work, but Pat has grown. I used to not be as he did a couple things in the beginning. I don't remember. It was ask for things in the beginning. It's you haven't earned it. You haven't earned it. He earned this opportunity. He's kept his head down. He's worked hard. So when it was brought to me, he's like, yeah, he 100% has earned the opportunity to try to make this podcast work. And I hope it does. For his sake, our sake, everybody's sake. So I'm rooting for it.
For sure. Good for Pat. This is another question that kind of, it went to the, I got lost in the train of thought when you talked about pretty much everyone in Milton is going to be in the 7-figure club. Does Milmore count in that?
He's a weird guy in that. I haven't decided. Okay. I mean, it's he's been on, off. He's so talented. I don't know. And he was late to the game there a little bit, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Because he's, for the long time stoolies, Milmore's
He is.
Yeah, he's
it's
great.
just I never interact with him.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on for one of these.
And, like, I rarely even interacted with him in Milton.
I talk to him every day for the rundown. We go back and forth, and I've never met him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's like in person.
Great dude.
He's the most talented, like, person we got.
He's very good.
I mean, he's a genius.
He was so talented that he basically forced your hand when you really didn't have money to hire people, that you brought him in.
I mean, he's a genius. He literally won, I think, at one year, like, the best, like, GIF of the year from, like, the New York Times when he did the Michael Jordan. Oh no, it was I think LeBron when he does the
powder?
the smoke, and the powder became a crying Jordan face.
Oh, okay.
It was fucking brilliant.
He's very good.
No, he's brilliant.
Brilliant.
His work ethic at times can be questioned.
A couple full-time.
Maybe at all times can be questioned.
Maybe at all times.
But brilliance is brilliance.
And he's been there for a long time.
Yes.
A couple full-time hires. Coach Doug's, Kelly Keegs are on board.
Didn't know about Keegs. Yeah, Doug's. We were talking a little bit before he quit. He's another guy. If you want, like, an insight into the brain of Dave, he was doing the Doug stuff, as far as I know, traveling to these colleges on his own dime, making content on his own dime. Somebody who is that motivated with no incentive, I will roll the dice on you. I'm also in the process of hiring the Tank because I couldn't hire Doug's
The Tank.
without hiring Tank.
The Tank.
Yeah.
That's breaking news.
He will have a restriction on how many times he can come to the office per week. He's going to be the first employee who's ever told, COVID or not, you have to stay home because we can't have him just bothering everybody all the time. But I think I can make back the salaries in just one sponsored mini golf tour, Doug's versus Tank.
Wow. So you did it. That was like last week. Like, did that turn the screws on you?
Well, once I did Doug's, it turned the screws on Tank. And then I found myself in a very predictable Tank contract negotiation, where I thought I'm doing me a favor. And suddenly he's got to look at all our different packages. And I was very similar Shark Tank or the Big Brain when he just came, he's thrown out, and he's acting like he's fucking Teixeira on the free agent market.
So you need $1 million at least. At least. What was his negotiation? What did he want?
Well, he wanted more, and then he needs to see all our healthcare programs, which I understand. But he, for me, it's like, all right, I see his text. I'm going to kill myself. I got to get out of the courthouse. I'm going to die. So I thought a lateral move would be good. Like, all right, how much you make at the courthouse, we'll pay you that. He was looking at this as a huge move up. So it's like, Tank. I mean, I don't know that we get that type of budget, but I think we've worked it out for the Tank.
And then Frank the Tank, what do we think of 1 day per week in the office?
Max.
Why, does he like just go in your office when he comes in?
He can be a lot.
Can I tell a quick Frank story?
Yeah.
He
Sure.
On the Pro Football Show, he was one of the super fans, and Dion could not believe that Frank sits in a chair.
Correct, yeah.
So I asked Frank, I was going back and forth with him to get the original video, and I was like, Frank, this is a weird request, but Deion Sanders wants to see you sit in a chair. And within a half hour, he sent me 7 different takes, different angles of him just sitting
Coachable.
into the chair.
He's
yeah.
coachable.
Yep.
Coachable. That's
But I
great.
mean,
He's a pro.
Yeah, maybe 2 days. We'll see.
2 days. All right. Two days. All right. Wow. Congrats to Frank the Tank. He's been grinding for a while. Les got written in a lot. KB and Nick, you caught them drinking during working hours.
Correct.
Was that just were you laughing? What was the
So
movie?
I was walking home. I saw them, and I stood there for a little bit, and they just didn't notice me. So then I took the camera out. Those are 2 kind of free pass guys. I wish KB may blog a little more. He writes the long blogs. But I know they're doing a lot. I wasn't mad at them. That wasn't like Smitty sitting there drinking.
You appreciate those guys.
Yeah, well, the more talent you have, the more you can get away with, and they're both wildly talented. I get that. I get Manny Ramirez. He threw the traveling secretary, who's 97 for the Red Sox, down a flight of stairs and was the starting lineup next day. KB and Nick are irreplaceable. Smitty, I think blockhead walking on the street can go sit with a army hat on with Sergeant Staines and play video games in the romper room all day. So I don't want to catch him at 4 o'clock drinking.
Smitty just can't avoid the shots in this one. It's a big Smitty shot day. Before I go to listener emails, are you sure nothing about Brandon Newman, or are you intentionally staying out of it to be smart? Or
I think I just said it's a shame he left. He didn't talk to me.
He didn't say a word to you?
Not a word.
Okay.
I found out how everyone else found out.
On video.
And I was like, damn, what a shame. Should I try to keep him? He wants to go. He's got to go.
All right. There you go.